I refuse to believe that these kids don't know about the outcome of the sex is having a baby.
Yeah. Like LO is not really a thing we attend in before. I don't know about it's really not a subject we attend. You know, it's always physical. What is that thing where you go outside to play? So it's basically like a free period.
Yeah.
So nobody really comes in class. But the boy is still a proud Limpopian, and you know, actually, like, I guess I can call like a family friend of ours actually watched that podcast and educated me. So the takeaway lesson is very important to do your research.
Okay.
It turns out ZZ2 is not in ZD, it's in Mojaji's school. So every time I was busy saying there with confidence or ZZ2, continue. But I said,
I know what you're talking about.
no, you see, I could get away with it because you guys are
Yeah, I mean,
it's
you like ZZ2, like, okay.
But the important lesson takeaway: do your research, people. But otherwise, the boy still a proud Limpopian. ZZ2 that is in Mujaji's Kloof. The name is constantly never changing. Papela Madimeja Austin, and as always, it's been a little while, but again, I'm not rolling alone. I'm with the gents, the crew.
Sanbonani, Xeli. Ladies and gentlemen, hello family. Hello. I mean, hello family. But sinabangisha, but sinabangkulma, but sinabangnanatela, but again, glad vatana. Ladies and gentlemen, blessed was the name and being a blessing is part of the game. This guy is good. Once again, we're not rolling around with the brother from Mahikeng, the brother from Mountain.
Yeah, what's good is no.
It's fun.
It's fine, let's start. It's your boy, what did I say?
Okay, just Ked. I can't
It's your boy Ked, just Ked from Maftown, representing, bringing you the freshest content
in this podcast, day in and day out.
All you gotta do is
let us in.
How do you do that?
Like, subscribe, comment. Yes, we truly appreciate.
Like, we truly appreciate.
It's been a little while, but you guys are still here, so we really appreciate that you've been with us through the. I don't want to really call them the ups and the downs, because we had episodes in advance. Yeah, but you know, we really appreciate the subscribers, the views, and everything, the comments. And please don't stop now. We haven't mastered anything, we haven't perfected anything. If you feel like I just said, I've got informed that ZZ2 is actually not in ZB, so you see, we learn every day. So if you feel there's something we can still improve on and all that, so yeah. And the very same family friend, but our introductions are too long, so we have to be for.
Our intro,
no, not necessarily yours. Like we take 5 minutes before we get to the topic, or 9 minutes. Or
yeah.
But otherwise, wow, my heart.
Mapela likes to talk with the message.
My heart.
I mean,
the people.
I mean.
But otherwise, after a whole month of really not doing this, we are back at it again with yet another episode of our 2000's perspective, and we were really struggling. We had a topic, but we needed a female perspective on it, and we really couldn't find anyone. So, Kat, the leading master of
Sanbona.
You see, what are these? The thinking juices, man. You know. So we went back to the drawing board, and we had actually an interesting conversation this very morning as we were coming to shoot an episode, and we touched on teenage pregnancy. Teenage pregnancy, and then yesterday we had a conversation with Kat where he brought something forth about culture. I guess, like, because culture is it's a really, really broad spectrum. So I guess we will just tap into the one aspect of culture as to whether you said what are we losing culture or
creating our culture.
Yeah, losing and recreation of cultures.
Beautiful.
But now let's start with teenage pregnancy. You know, because like you said,
starting with teenage pregnancy.
I
feel okay.
I hate you. But fair, you know. Okay, we're starting with that, and then we were talking, and then we wondered, like, with teenage pregnancy being so rife in our country, whose duty is it really to educate these kids, you know? Because I feel like teenage pregnancy is really an aftermath of lack of information, for lack of a better term, really. like these kids aren't really well informed to know maybe how a baby comes about and the responsibility. Oh no, please, I'm not. I don't even. But yeah, Sambo, let's.
All right. Fit. Once again, this is a very beautiful topic.
I'm sure it is.
But
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that these kids don't know about
Oh.
the outcome of sex is having a baby.
Yeah.
But it's not always the outcome. It's just one of the few possible outcomes.
Sure.
There are STDs, there are STIs
Sure.
amongst.
But when since we're dealing with teenage pregnancy,
Yeah.
not STIs or STDs, as in teenage pregnancy.
Okay.
I refuse to believe that these kids don't know. I mean, as a person, you know, if you take food, put it in the microwave, it's gonna come back as hot.
But now I feel you can be surprised out there.
Yeah.
Like there was this scandal. Akids in Fana Kulimpopo can confirm it for us. Like they said, I read it somewhere. Kulimpopo they don't teach such.
It's not
during
really.
LO periods there.
Mfana, you're gonna get me into wars with my people. But if you're being realistic about it, like LO is not really a thing we attend in Limpopo. I don't know about doing other places.
So you can be surprised.
It's really not a subject we attend. You know, it's always physical. What is that thing where you go outside to play? So it's basically like a free period. You know? So nobody really comes in class.
Physical education and
yeah,
training.
it's literally physical education.
So Coach, I was
every
right
day.
where I read the source.
I'm not saying you are right.
But
I'm not saying
I think that's everywhere. Not necessarily everywhere,
but
there
others
some,
are like doing much better as compared to.
Yeah, but there are also some places come Mpumalanga whereby LO is always PE.
So.
But manje, let's get back to the point. Tina, we're the generation that grew up believing Oguti. Okay, I personally grew up. Yeah,
all of us.
I was told about God gives you a child, aeroplane, find a child there. And at some point in time, I believed that. But I refuse to believe Oguti Manjang in 2021. There is an 8-year-old out there who doesn't know about a baby is brought by the sex.
Okay,
I
sure.
refuse to believe
We need a survey to compare.
Yeah, I guess we can run a survey to compare that.
But
otherwise,
get 8-year-olds.
okay, even if you feel like they don't know, so whose responsibility is it? So you feel like it's their own responsibility. It falls on these kids who are now pregnant. They should have known better.
Now that's
or
the thing.
maybe there's somebody else who should have really done better with educating them.
Okay. There's a difference between knowing about if you take food. Okay, I love this example. Take food, if I microwave, it's gonna come back as hot food. Yeah? Sometimes you know about the food is gonna be hot or warm.
You expect, you don't necessarily know. It's because it has been done repeatedly that you expect it to come out hot.
Yeah, but then sometimes go by now that the point in time whereby Ubapela has to tell me, but okay, blessing, the food was in the microwave for about 10 minutes now. It's very, very, very hot. You need to at least have something to cover your hands.
Okay.
What is saying, Chief?
No, let him.
Man, you get me, Scar. You need to have at least something to protect yourself because the food is very hot.
Okay.
But when you know Uguti, the food is gonna be warm, just that you don't know Uguti, 10 minutes is too long.
Okay. Break it down, bro. Break it down.
Not making sense.
I'm very lost right now. I'm not even
Alright,
gonna lie,
cool.
Chief.
Who placing knows Uguti? If he takes food, if I get a microwave, it's gonna come back as warm food. Yeah? Okay, let's take fries. I'm gonna take my fries that I ate yesterday. I'm gonna put them in the microwave. In 2 minutes, it's sharp.
Your chief membership should not see this.
In 2 minutes, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'll be able to eat the chips. But now, if you're placing, it's my first time using the microwave. And then in microwaving, let's say 10 minutes. I'm supposed to put in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
The food will be very, very hot. But since I don't know and I'm not educated about the food being very hot for 10 minutes.
The food.
Take the food and I'm gonna burn myself. I'm gonna burn my fingers.
Yeah.
Why? Because I didn't know.
But you expected the food to come out hot. You just didn't know that putting it for a certain period of time is gonna be dangerously hot.
Sure.
So whose fault? I mean, whose responsibility? Not necessarily fault. Whose responsibility is it? Who's supposed to teach you that? Okay, 2 minutes is fine. 10 minutes is. because we were having this as we were coming up the stairs. As we were coming up the stairs, or does it fall on teachers? Because you said these kids spend like 8 hours at school.
They spend
and then I
8 hours
said
with
they
these
spend
teachers.
the other 16 at home, and then you said no, they sleep for the other 8. So they literally spend the same amount of time with teachers as they do with their parents. So whose responsibility is it really to educate these kids about pregnancy more than anything? I guess.
Honestly, as much as it is going to be very awkward, but it's the parents' responsibility.
But okay, it can be the parents' responsibility, but then with that now comes other problems, because sex
But
is
it
sex is a very taboo thing at home. At least with our generation, maybe we can do better with our kids. But with how we have you ever sat down and
Nah.
you see?
That's the thing. I think we need to fix that.
Yeah, we need to fix that,
yeah.
but I don't know. It could possibly be one of the contributing factors as to how pregnancy comes up. Like we never address sex at home until somebody comes back pregnant.
A child.
So we're saying
it's like a bouquet, guys. I feel it's a collaborative effort. So it's a system, and people have to put in their pieces. LO, they have to educate, they have to educate textbook style, physiology style. This is what happens, so you can understand how your body works, you can understand these things, Then parents in Abo, they have to come in and say, no, Manake, this is for when you work after school, 1, 2, 3, when you're independent, when you're old enough. So it's a collaborative effort. Everyone has to chip in. You can't necessarily blame
Just parents.
their parents. So I feel the community as a whole, man, we have to
Even the
try.
kids themselves have to take.
Yeah, even the kids have to take some sort of responsibility.
Alright,
Oh no,
man.
definitely they have to take some trouble. Because the thing is with teenage pregnancy, you see your other friends pregnant, you know how they got pregnant, and then you still fall victim to that. So you see, now it's also part of your responsibility. You should have learned from their mistake. Okay, it's not necessarily a mistake, but you should have learned because
From what they did.
Yeah, exactly.
But now, I saw my stats. Apparently, the about 12-year-olds who got pregnant during the lockdown time.
Imagine.
The
I
lockdown.
read a stat like
There's like 10-year-olds.
Yeah,
Because
number 10-year-olds.
teenagers, like is it 20,000 teenagers?
Somewhere there, somewhere there, and
Yeah,
it's just
it's
in
there.
Gauteng, just
Gauteng.
Gauteng, not
Oh,
South
very
Africa.
bad, very bad.
So are we saying, but these kids have to be responsible enough to think for themselves? Doing this is wrong.
Yeah, I know really, because otherwise you'll be shying away from accountability. If
Okay.
you're saying no to your parents, but your parents didn't promote you going to get sex.
These kids are 10 years old, Wafid.
Okay,
Collaborative
yeah,
effort.
okay. With that being 10 years old, now I feel like it's some
I
statutory
mean,
rape, really.
they saw it somewhere.
But I don't know, being pregnant at 10, I feel like it really is a product of statutory rape more than anything. Because for example, if you're being honest, when you were 10 and then you had a girlfriend who was 10-year-old, who was also at 10 years, were you really thinking sex at 10 years?
Alright, man. Okay, I was not.
Exactly. So you see the people,
But
how the kids got pregnant because somebody's taking advantage.
check
of
the
them.
food that we're eating.
Yeah.
Ne? Apparently, the food that we're eating, it plays a role of some sort in hormones.
Yeah.
Kids now are bigger.
So
But
I'm a
at 10, were you
10-year-old's
really
weight.
thinking sex though?
I'm a 10-year-old's weight. When we were 10 years old, it's not the same as like my 10 years old.
But were you really thinking sex? That's really like, because it's trying to
never
deviate
know.
away.
Their hormones are amateur.
10 is grade 1.
I don't know. As grade 4.
Grade 4.
It's possible.
Yeah.
In grade 4, chief.
It's possible.
You are there with the baby bump in grade 4.
I mean, Mare, yeah, you can be right.
It's the food that
It really is a product of statutory. Like even if the hormones and everything at 10, like sex is almost the last thing on your mind if you're even thinking about it at all. Like
Yeah, I
sex
don't
is
think-
something you will start thinking about in high school because your peers are influencing you.
Yeah.
Like no primary kid is still thinking. Chief, in primary you like the main topic was the movie you saw last Sunday night, and then it was going to be the talk of the school the next Monday. For you know- Okay, yeah,
I
maybe
remember
don't have
when
really-
I was still in primary, finding someone apply the word
Yeah,
sex.
it was
Yo.
just the way itself.
Just the word, DJ.
But now they are doing it practically. Now they are it's no longer just in theory. You see the problem.
So what are we saying?
But then
whose fault-
awareness
whose
campaigns
responsibility?
are out there. So now I feel like I'm
Nah.
contradicting myself because these people are educated to school.
At 10.
Hence I said these people know what they're doing.
But at 10, let's
Yeah.
catch up. That one is a bit shaky.
At 10, grade 4, Wafid.
You have to
Exactly.
make it
Ah,
known
come
to-
on.
that one is a bit
bet you these kids, you find a 3-year-olds of being able to operate a cell phone.
But that's really not the same as doing amanyana.
Okay. When you were 3 years old, were you able to operate a phone?
I couldn't even speak for most part.
There were no smartphones.
Yeah, but it comes due to that.
Yes, I'm saying the
We are
time.
proving to blessing our time.
Okay, yeah, but
Time
okay,
changes the
I'm not
perception.
really arguing with that, but the question is whose fault now is it? Like, whose responsibility, whose fault? Like, who's really supposed to be putting these kids down? You said it should be a collaborative effort, but does that seem to be working? Because some people really do attend LO and then they steal 20,000 kids, 1,000
Alright.
fell pregnant last year. Due to a beggar.
It's really a collaborative effort.
But is it effective though? Or do you feel like
no,
maybe
okay.
It's not effective because there's that one puzzle missing, more especially in the black families.
One.
Yeah, no, like black parents is not really a thing we do. Sex is a taboo thing.
I am. How old am I? Okay, I'm
You are
old
very
enough.
old, you are very old. Not even old enough, you are old, chief. After the kids we met in the streets,
Yeah,
you are old. You are old.
But I don't remember my parents sitting me down. But in Ghana, there's something called sex.
Yeah.
If you do it, you might get a girl pregnant.
You literally, like, we learn these things from our peers before we even get to learn them in LO. So I feel like peer pressure beats our parents and LO to literally the whole sex talk thing. Because by the time they sit you down to have the sex talk, maybe
So Kalila,
to what?
for sure when you started
Of what?
having sex.
No, I'm a child of God. I hold high positions in church.
Bapela.
Don't do that,
Why
somebody. Don't do that. I hold high positions in church. Please.
What is the deacon? You know, I'm talking about it's like the time your parents decide to talk you down.
Oh, you don't mean
when
me
I
personally?
no.
Oh, okay.
When you already
I
started.
had to clear my name. I had to clear. I hold high positions.
when I already started having sex out there, and
Yeah.
thing is, Ubapela is gonna have sex, man. And then Ubapela access our kind. I feel like, yo, please see.
Accept.
There's this other thing called sex. You do it like this. That's a blessing.
And the most important thing, I don't mention the repercussions.
Yeah.
I mention the nice part
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to lure you in.
Eh.
I'm not gonna give you
say
the bad
what
part.
pregnancy came after. I stop it right where you ejaculate and then it's all nice.
Yeah.
Which what comes after that, I don't put you down and explain to you already.
So are we saying the friends are wrong?
Like Kat said, it's a collaborative thing, but now because we can't really blame just one single group from this. We can't say it's the parents' fault. The parents can really teach you something, and then like most of us, we are taught at home or don't drink. Like those are things parents are comfortable teaching us. Or
Yeah.
you see your brother is a drunkard, you see your brother is
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
do not do this, and then you go out, you meet the likes of our Kat. Kat finishes a bottle of Russian beer. Now you want to compete with Kat. You know it's wrong.
Yeah.
But because Kat is your friend and you're trying to keep up, so you see, like I really feel like it comes down to accountability. If you are
now
of
we
age.
have to go back to the drawing board, like use the platforms really present now.
Social media.
Yeah, to make it not cool.
How are you gonna make it not cool when like because it now seems like you are bashing parents who fell pregnant at an early age because now it really seems like you are coming for them.
No, we are not coming from. I just felt it's not cool. It's not cool. Yeah, it's not cool. So we have to, even though it happens, it has happened. We have to, like, for the coming generations, we have to tell the gents, rest.
But which generation are we teaching when there are kids in grade 4 who are already pregnant? I mean, their generation that's gonna be
The
born
coming
to them.
generation.
Which coming
The
generation?
sad part is that the coming generation, I feel like the coming generation is gonna be more of a sad generation.
We already are said.
We already a sad
I
generation.
mean, I don't know why we are who said, but
Plus, we have the references. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 happened. At 2021, we had 20,000 teenagers go Gauteng.
but we all believe we're exceptional. That's really the problem.
Okay,
Like I said, you see that your friend is pregnant, you still are gonna do the thing because you wanna in your head you're exceptional. They fell pregnant because they made a certain mistake
let's
that
talk
you
about
are
it
going
more.
to make.
But let's talk about it more. Let's annoy people with this topic.
Chief, like
Let's
we
annoy-
really,
Yeah,
we
let's
really,
annoy
we
people
really
with this
need to.
topic.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, Blessing must, when Blessing is at ShopRite, he must go live there on Facebook or and go to the Pampas there and show the price. Yo! Diapers are expensive, guys. Like 400.
Do these people care?
Stop blaming
Exactly.
baby.
Thing
Hey,
is,
if we talk
man,
about it
Like I
more,
said,
But-
it's the rule of exceptionality. You always think you're exceptional. You always think your boyfriend. If anything, we're being realistic about it. Like bless us and the like.
Example,
Sure.
You know your boyfriend has money, so you will always think you're exceptional, or your boyfriend won't leave you.
Example. If okay. Example, drinking and driving.
Sure.
If you look at the drinking and driving campaign, I mean, it's literally everywhere.
But
chief.
people still do it.
Yeah, they still do
The
it.
rule of exceptionality.
They still do it, but like it's everywhere, and like I feel they're putting in an effort, and somehow they're making it so wrong. Like I post only drinking and driving on social media, people are gonna attack you. They're gonna come for you. Examples like that. So if we try and upscale it, so like put it on another level, I feel it will go down. I was looking at this not being judgmental or anything.
Sure.
This post on Facebook, and I was laughing, but I was sad at the same time. And two young people they were posting, but posting a baby,
Sure.
like, and they're too young, they're young, they're kids. Then the other one says, the mother says, Mama, her man.
Okay.
Then the father says, he's fat. And they were trending these kids on
I think I saw it.
yeah,
I
they
think
were
I saw it.
trending these kids. Hey, Jim, so such young kids. They were trending. Hey, now they are fathers, they are parents now, and they are woman 15, woman 16. Yeah, it's your name.
But that's the thing, like the trends and everything, they only last for a week.
Yeah,
And then it fades away. And then we go back again to you thinking you're special, to you thinking something like that would happen.
but Department of Health must spend money on this. They
On
must
what?
up
Chief, at this point, there's nothing they can do. They are
They did
they are-
everything,
There's
man.
literally everything now.
But they're trying very hard.
There are condoms, there are everything. I feel like I don't know. Another one of the contributing factors is the whole "so you don't love me" thing. Like I don't know, people feel like having raw sex or letting people ejaculate inside of you is proof of love.
So are we saying what the problem is not in the kids being pregnant.
Yeah,
The
the
problem is in the
pregnancy is the
sex.
aftermath.
So the problem is the sex.
If there is no sex, you won't be pregnant. That's kind of how it works.
So what are we saying? We're saying Uti, these kids wanna explore.
Okay, good.
These kids wanna explore because I feel like can't raise the point of which we should go to shops, ShopRite, like Facebook.
No, that's an example.
Sure, just and then like show Amma diapers, which okay, these things are expensive. But to place is having sex is gonna be like, nah, I'm having safe sex.
Hence, I said the rule of exceptionality. You always think something won't ever happen to you. You always think you are special. You always think, nah, my friend fell pregnant because she let him do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I don't know, it seems like we are leaning more towards girls as to this is a girl's problem. How can we boys
Can
do
the
that?
machita are there? Yeah.
No,
Because
yeah,
I don't-
yeah,
it sounds
always
like
mine includes everyone. My idea includes everyone. You know, let's go out there and talk about this. You know, imagine rest. You know, rest. Kind of kids.
Rest from having sex or rest from which part are we resting from?
Everything. Kids are kids.
So celibacy as a whole country.
Yeah, kids. kids want to be. Kids want to be kids. Kids want to be.
But how is having sex you being a kid? It's an adult thing actually.
Man, it's 2021.
Come on.
Look around.
Come on.
But when did it become being a kid? Having sex? When did having sex become being a kid?
I guess
we've
it's
normalized a lot of
it's
questionable
the good
things.
society.
It's crazy, man, and it's been
Yeah.
normalized.
Yeah, it is, and there's nothing you can.
And
do.
it's the world that we live in.
That's what I
man.
usually say to you. Hey, chief, society is society, and you will succumb to societal norms.
You don't have to succumb to societal norms.
You don't have to, but like, yeah, like people. I mean,
Look around.
yeah.
So what are we saying?
We as people succumb to the society.
Level
Our-
of
must
accountability.
we raise awareness about these kids should practice safe sex, or are we telling these kids not to have sex?
Safe sex, I guess, because not to have sex is really not an option. In the country we live in, I'm fine. You cannot.
Safe sex.
I
You
can,
can-
but we like
You can give them two options: abstain or safe.
now. Who's gonna abstain?
Yeah?
Who's gonna abstain?
Whoever wants to.
Nah, let's
Whoever wants to abstain is
let's
already abstaining.
let's not forget that there are still those people who are still abstaining.
Hence, I'm saying, whoever wants to abstain is already abstaining.
Okay, the other ones have started. Yeah.
So the only really, I guess, better way to continue having sex, having amanyala, is to just have it safely. I don't there's really there's nothing much we can really say, because otherwise, like, it's really a long way for parents to. You imagine now, Mr. Sambo and Mrs. Sambo sitting you down at your age.
Yeah, it's a little bit too late, man.
Exactly. So at what point do we feel maybe parents should have this conversation?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
You're really gonna sit down a 10-year-old?
When puberty? When does puberty start?
I don't. It depends. But it's earlier for girls. But sometimes, like, some girls are very late and they only have like their puberty. What you find some of them, they only have it in like varsity, in a high institution of learning.
Thing is, we made sex a taboo to a point of it. And like, yes, we should be able to talk about sex.
Exactly.
We able to talk about
discuss weather and sports.
Sure.
Because it's something that happens. We can't shy away from it.
But that's what's happening
amongst us. Like, as teens, we are able to talk about it as we can talk about weather and pirates growing. That my heart is hurt, but it's fine. You see, like, we should be able to have sex conversations the very same way we are having discussions about the weather.
But that's what's happening in the moment.
Oh no, okay, I mean parents should
be like start from the 10 years now, but don't be deep.
So now you want to have an awkward conversation.
Now I wouldn't want
twice
to have
in your life.
Conversations like that with my parents.
It shouldn't be awkward.
Why would you not want to?
I am grateful.
Okay, now I'm grateful. It didn't happen.
So okay, but then we were saying parents are supposed to play a role. So what role are they supposed to play if you yourself?
They should make it comfortable.
How?
Pella, they are smart. They are old. They have to be smart about it.
Demonstrations, bring dolls, what?
That's a bit too.
Pella Bonnet, they didn't get such talks.
Exactly. So what are you gonna teach somebody you were never taught?
Okay, they never got such talks. Yet teenage pregnancy wasn't that hard. What are we doing?
I guess people in the olden times were disciplined.
Yeah. So
you're saying we discipline it? Yeah.
Call us out.
I mean, in the olden times, now when I listen to my parents' stories, they'll tell you how they didn't even have watches, but when the sun is there, they know. When the sun, when the sun is there, they know. The poppers shall dance. They know. They know how the curtains must be closed, the pots must be boiling. They know how you should be.
So are we saying it's the time?
No, I'm just making an example.
No, but by then, like, they had to cook maybe on fire or something. Technology has made it easier for us to have a lot of time on our hands.
I'm not talking about cooking. I'm talking about...
I get your point, but you are saying they had to do that because they had to have cooked.
Corporal punishment was there.
But right now,
it's still there.
Technology really has made it
corporal
easier.
punishment is still there.
But now, blessing, if my dad or my
well, no, you're a fraud man.
You're a bit too old now.
I can go open a case. Even though I'm 14 or I'm 15, I can go open a case.
You'll be homeless, but
but that's what happens out there.
But it doesn't sound like a black thing.
There are people who go and open
okay,
cases.
so you see, we've actually deviated to the second topic. You see, these people are very smooth. Culture, have we really lost culture? Are we initiating our own culture the very same way? Like the disciplinary culture and all that. Have we really lost that?
I guess you said something the other day. I don't know what did you say about that. You said now we are just the generation before us started.
You like nobody really we haven't that like 2000, the Gen Zs and all that. Like, it's something millennials have started before us, and we just, I guess, improved on it. It's not like we initially thought of something the very same way we found maybe I don't know what kind of cat. This is your what kind of cat? I don't like any recent thing that started but was there before us. The millennials, for example, the baggy pants and everything, they were there before us, and then we just brought them back and made them cooler.
No, I mean indigenous culture.
That was just an example. Or people started things before us. We just brought them back and made them cooler. But in terms of indigenous cultures, really, I really feel we have.
I know black African kids who can't speak their mother
I know one. I know, like, so.
I know a lot.
Kawa.
I must get a
They twang. They can't even speak their own really.
But you can't really blame them.
Nothing.
Yeah,
we are here.
it
We
falls
are
down
here.
onto your parents.
We are here. Why don't we have Swati, Tswana,
We want to reach
Pedi,
a broader audience.
a Bola audience? So,
Yeah, I can speak my own language. I know for a fact.
And I mean,
that-
Shasha,
Yeah, no,
Swati,
let's
man.
wait, I can-
there's no. We wanna reach a broader audience.
Yeah,
There's no
this
space
is for
culture
accommodation.
Anymore.
If you want to be accommodative, you can, like, there is space for culture. You're just using a different language.
Because you can't, if you want to accommodate everyone, you can't walk around that shirtless there with your Tswana.
But you can.
Cow.
You can. It's just you as an individual. There is nothing that prevents you from doing that. You're practicing your
I think I
culture,
was
practicing
watching
your
this
right.
other video on Twitter. They were
Yeah.
chasing this guy from shoots. He was wearing like
Oh, yeah.
traditional attire. Like, hey, chief, this is inappropriate. Can't be wearing such a power.
I'm really concerned in how I know all these videos, yes.
Nah, you follow. There was also one where I think it was a Swati female that she went to a mall or something, and then the next day or the next following week there was like a whole march of Swati women wearing their Swati attire going to that very mall.
Hey, I don't know that one.
Like, it was on the news and everything.
So I guess there's no space for culture in the society.
So you are saying now, like,
You practice culture at your home.
We've lost the
When you
culture,
leave
but
your home,
let's be
you
fair,
don't
let's
come
be
back.
honest.
okay, we have lost it, but
Yeah,
can we bring it back?
no, we can't.
Why can't we bring
Time.
it back? Time.
Once again,
What do you mean time? Nobody has time.
the times have changed, Chief.
Oh.
Look around.
I guess. Oh, yeah, actually, I was having a rather interesting conversation with this other girl from Limpopo. And then she asked me, I think it was for an assignment of hers.
Yeah.
She asked me, why can't we go back to the African society? At first, I was confused on what is African society, and then she broke it down to me. Like Kat had said, basically, indigenous cultures, why can't we go back to cooking on fires? Like, why can't we go back to doing this? Why can't we go back to doing that? And my response to that was because I guess, like, time has made things easier for us to
Sure.
Like, if there's a stove, why would you want to cook in something that fumes
Now
smoke
you're
and
in the
chokes you?
dance there and you want to cook malamakhodo outside there and you're
No,
going
not
to-
even that. Malamokho, like, you can still cook malamokhodo.
King Mala. Oh,
Cow
Mukhod.
intestine, yeah.
Mukhod.
Yeah, yeah.
Why not Mukhod? Why?
Some.
It's malamakhodo.
We are practicing our cultures.
Mala.
Yes.
Alright.
Stomach and heat stuff.
Yes, someone.
I know Mukhod.
You are swag. You are practicing.
I'm at food with son.
Tombstones.
Matumbo, ne?
Sounds so much like tombstones.
Makfumbu.
Matumbo.
Matumbu.
That's
That's
two. That sounds.
Hence I'm saying it sounds so much like a tombstone.
What do you call
Matfuna.
tombstones?
Litfuna.
Mafuna.
Mafuna.
Litfuna.
Yetuna.
Yeah.
Oh, Litfuna. It makes sense.
No, Kat, you don't have to certify. You don't have to certify
Makes
it.
sense. It makes sense.
But yeah, she asked me that, and
Yeah.
my response to that was basically because I guess time and technology and everything, we can't go back because humanity has advanced so much.
Mhm.
It doesn't make sense to go back to hunting and all that.
Yeah.
With this fry packaging and
Yeah.
and shopping. Like, you
Plus-
can't be out there chasing a chicken that's been eating questionable things the whole day when there's fry packet woolworths with a chicken that was raised by both parents.
Plus,
But
if
home cooked, and you see these things, this new advanced things, they are winning our shit. Look at our kids now. Like you've been saying, they have the things from
the whole
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah.
stuff.
yeah, people eat the whole thing.
Let's be honest of it. Ish. I feel like the old generation might know this one, but in the olden days, I feel like women were. I'm gonna say it. It was more often 90-10.
It was nice knowing you guys.
It was nice knowing you.
But I'm
Been a
saying
fun
it.
audience.
I'm saying this. I'm gonna say it, Buffett.
Yeah.
Women were abused in the olden days.
Oh yeah. It really was unfair.
Yeah, Pella, it's that thing in the olden days. Yeah, in the olden days.
Patriarchy
things-
was really
yeah,
prevailing.
things were strict
Sure.
and you had to know your place.
Exactly.
Kind of who said this? These people were only like they were grounded in a sense.
They were grounded, not even in a sense, they were grounded.
They were grounded. They were literally only limited to household things.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
continue making the point.
And then manje, look around, there are people fighting for a 50-50. So we can't really go back.
Yeah. And actually, we haven't talked on that patriarchy. Like I said in the beginning, we're just really looking for a female perspective. But we really want to touch on, I guess, the effects of patriarchy. Is it still prevailing in modern times? Is it still a thing? Is pectoralis working behind?
So you can ask her, maybe she has something to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna be our ghost lady.
Oh.
Bazokushayenya iflosi.
Yo.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
bazokushayenya lawsuit.
But as Sambo said, like we are fighting for 50-50. So it's again one of the contributing factors that might have lost culture. But let's look at the kind of culture we've lost. Is it really a good or a bad loss? Because sometimes it's a loss, but it's a good loss. Like you said, the 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
Now our mothers can actually do more things than just be, I don't know, equated to just household chores.
You've got your female doctors, your female
Exactly.
lawyers, your
And
female
they are
midwives.
breaking ground. They are really breaking grounds in their respective fields.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So is it really a good or a bad loss?
Yeah?
The L, the losing of culture, is it like a good loss or a bad loss?
Both sides.
Yeah.
It goes
Okay.
both ways.
Okay, for the good side you've already substantiated, and then how is it a bad loss?
Well, teenage pregnancy is one of the main factors.
There are new terrible societal norms we have succumbed to.
Like what?
Like,
Teenage pregnancy. But we haven't really succumbed to it. That's really not really a culture thing. It's a problem. It's a youth problem.
a youth problem, like teenage youth problem. Because if it gains attention of mainstream media, it's a problem.
It's a huge one.
It's a problem.
It's a huge one.
Yeah, we are supposed to reform our country. So now when you have 20,000 people having children, I'm sure a certain percentage of them already they're not going back to school.
Yeah.
That means that
reforming.
we have 20,000 plus kids that need to get a social grant. That's the economy.
So man. So there are other like societal, behavior. We are crazy. We are wild.
Living the best life.
Yeah, we are living the best life. Don't think
Wait.
Tomorrow is not
Here's the
guaranteed.
question. Here's the question I wanted to ask. Wait.
Yeah.
Since you said
Are you still fine? Are you
it's
it's been a long time.
yeah, it's closing now. Since you said we might as well promote safe sex.
Yeah,
Because according to you, or according to us, the problem is not necessarily the sex but the pregnancy.
yeah.
So are we saying we must also encourage abortion to those that are already pregnant?
No, that's an individual thing. Abortion, I don't really have a problem with it. I'm not against it. I'm not for. I don't really have a stance with abortion because it doesn't affect me personally. So you see, I can't say it's wrong. I can't say it's right because some people can afford to take care of the kid. So there are other factors that factor in before you get to abortion.
Okay.
So you can't just decide to not have a baby. Some people decide to have a baby because they feel like they are ready. Because you can't really be brushing people off for now. You're 19. You're not emotionally ready to be what.
But do you think that out there there are teenagers who are married who are married?
Who are really married? Like
Yeah.
Culturally, okay, that's fine. They are married. They're still supposed to play the whole. But other than those, I don't think there's actually a teenager who wants to have a child at such an young age.
But it's now here. Like it's something you have to deal with. So I feel like it's really a personal decision. So society really shouldn't even have an opinion as to whether opinion is a good or a bad thing. Because at the end of the day, it really doesn't affect you. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Like legit. If somebody being pregnant and somebody wanted to abort it, because you won't have. If you are saying maybe abortion is wrong.
Something so she was gonna be here.
No, it's fine.
So it threw me off for a second.
So you see, like the thing with abortion, it like as long as it doesn't impact you directly, because you can't say abortion is wrong and then promote people keeping kids, but now that kid will be raised by an emotionally unavailable parent, financially they are not doing okay. Like now all those factors that you didn't look into before you said abortion was wrong are now coming to play. And then when you are there at Matsulu sleeping, now we are here struggling with a kid because when your opinion from Matsulu said abortion was wrong, not you personally, just me.
Yeah, sure.
So you see, Like there are things that have to factor in. Hence, I'm saying, or abortion, like nobody really should be having an opinion unless it affects you directly.
Hence my point, you're raising a sad generation. Because if you look at 20 plus kids, 20,000 plus kids.
You want to see him, you want to look him in the eye.
20,000 plus kids are gonna be raised by teenagers.
Exactly. And then you see now we are looking at grants and all that.
A strong support system.
But you see,
But
like it's
Samachita
going back to his point, or now grant and the economy. But if abortion, they have decided.
Machita akekho ubapela uhambile uye laphayana manje usukile manje lapha so uye laphayana manje. So still as much as we are let's address the gents of it. Let's also address the gents.
That's why I said, or like I feel like we are leaning more towards just as if the pregnancy is a one-sided thing.
I guess the female is the one.
Yeah, it's like they suffer more, but she's not the only one who engaged in Amanya, you know. Like she didn't just wake up pregnant. Somebody had to feed them. Oh, okay, in sex, okay. But she's not like she wasn't the only one who engaged in it. So you see.
I don't want crazy comments there. Stop saying such.
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
I guess we should go back to babies. At least no babies before you 3. At least.
Safe sex, really, because I actually had thought of this. Or safe sex really, like it protects you from a lot of things. Number one, STIs, you know, the likes of gonorrhea
Chief,
and all those.
like I was thinking the other day, hey, if we can realize, like, a lot of us, like this generation, we don't care about other things. The only thing you care about is a baby.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, the only thing we are well informed about is a baby.
You don't
Hence
see,
I said, like we are running campaigns for teenage pregnancy.
At cliques in the morning looking for bribe. They look for money after people.
Yeah. He's raising a valid point.
It's a valid. We don't care about that. The only thing you care about, chief, is that baby. Chief.
Exactly.
That cry.
But you see, that's the thing, because people are not really well informed about these things. Like you only learn them when you're in a certain faculty. Really, if you are being honest, nobody came to your high school and told you about gonorrhea and chlamydia and trichomonias and all those things. Okay, I'm sorry, but you see, like if we educate kids in high school, or like when they get into puberty, into
take it upon yourself there in Popo schools.
You see. You see, those are such
conversations
things.
with
if you were well informed, or there are such STIs besides HIV. Like kids weight or HIV or pregnancy. HIV, I can hide it from my parents.
Yeah, you cannot really hide.
Exactly. So you see, but now if you are well informed, or besides HIV, there are other STIs. Trust me, safe sex will be well practiced, and as a result, there will be less teenage pregnancy.
Hey, let's take it away, guys. Let's take it away.
You see, okay, but yeah,
there's a lot to say, but
there's really a lot to say. I don't know, in terms of teenage pregnancy, I don't really think there's one party responsible, as Kat had said. You know, it's a collaborative thing. But if you're being realistic about it, like our friends really,
mainstream media to the kids. Everyone.
But otherwise,
and I feel like we're missing a few puzzles. Hence, it's not that effective.
You know, but more than anything, the possible effective route that we can take is really safe sex. You know, if we promote safe sex more than anything. Because to say celibacy as a country is celibacy as a country, that's your individual point. That's you alone.
Number one,
don't invite us.
It's gonna be number one. You have to ban these kids from
the social media, chief.
Not social media, from where they make these babies. Hey, nah.
So you see,
from things like we as a 16-year-old.
You know, some babies are made to school.
Exactly.
So what are you saying? Are we gonna stop them from going to school?
Just educate them on safe sex more than anything. That really seems to be the logical and most probable way, effective
but
way.
If such can happen under your nose at school as a principal, chief.
You see, now we're gonna be going into a completely different thing. Principals can't be monitoring each and every last kid. You as a principal, you also have your job to do. You're not just a principal, you're also a teacher. That you have periods you have to teach.
It's like your job is being a teacher, not
exactly. You can't job share every learner in your school. So really, safe sex and educate kids on STIs. Trust me, that's gonna be more effective than just threatening them with pregnancy.
You're gonna tell you placing, but except placing if I and it burns.
Oh, chief, we have evidence of what these chlamydias and everything can do. Trust me. If you run a campaign and actually show it to them, or this is what chlamydia looks like. Trust me, Sambo. At the end of the day, Aboma Jurex and trust will be, if you know or when you are a person who practices Amanya, trust me, you're gonna go get those.
But you please see, we wanna go touch the fire. To
Oh,
make
see
sure
now,
the fire is hot.
That's you now is a problem. There's nothing we can do for you then. But otherwise, me from my side, I don't. For in terms of teenage pregnancy, I really feel like just education on safe sex more than anything, really, because there isn't really anything else that you can do that seems to be effective. Parents, only maybe us, this generation, we can try and do better with our kids and not make sex such a taboo thing. And I guess it starts with such conversations. You know, we should be able to say such words like sex and without feeling.
We should be comfortable saying the word.
So you see, it starts.
For sure, there are some people when they started watching the video and then they heard placing and she said, "Hey, this guy."
You see, these are things we have to be comfortable with. So you see, from my side, I don't know, effective way really. You see, now I'm just being redundant. Safe sex, and then otherwise in terms of culture, we definitely really are losing culture, but from my perspective it's a good loss really, because if we want to revert back to that type of culture, then we won't really be advancing as a society. So that's really my take. Sambo.
You said it all, my man. You said it all. But I think I have a slight different view for teenage pregnancy. Kat said it all. It's a collaborative effort, ne? But I still feel like we have a few missing puzzles. Hence, this picture is not complete and this thing is not effective. And then number two, as much as we can practice the safe sex, it's not gonna be 100% safe.
But it's most probably it's gonna. Okay, no, this is your opinion.
It's not gonna be 100% safe. So, I think I get it. There's the first class, the second class. When the first class is failed, we go to the second class. And then. Because mind you, I feel like the first class is failing, hence you're saying you must practice safe sex. But I still want to instill in first class, let's abstain.
That's you. But
I'm not being judgmental or what, but that's just my opinion towards it. And Masiga Lashlegile Bafit, you really lost the culture. But I think it's both ways. It's not really a good loss, it's a good loss and a bad loss. Some of the things, such as a discipline, really lost that.
Definitely.
And then the Lamanya Makut loss by the Mafia.
Caterpillar when Caterpillar. Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? Are you catching this?
Beautiful view.
Beautiful view.
You guys are gonna see our camera later. Beautiful view. How to catch beautiful view.
Beautiful day, beautiful
Sunbona. Just Cat signing out.
Okay. Proudly for being one of the we really truly appreciate you guys being here, and as always, it's nothing but love from the Ama 2000's perspective crew. Pew pew.
Atsira bangisha batsira bangkhuluma batsira banginanatela batsike ngiledvatsana sabo mina ke ubuyele ekhaya eMpumalanga la khunya khona side. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the name and your blessing is part of the game. Ciao, this guy is good. From us, it's nothing but love.
For the love.